below. Welcome to In 180 Seconds. Today we shall learn about IIP, the Index of Industrial Production. IIP is an index that tells us how the industrial growth is currently doing in the country. It is a combination of measure of performance of various sectors and is a key economic indicator of the manufacturing sector of the economy. This data is published on a monthly basis in India by CSO or Central Statistical Organization. However, the data is a lag of 6 weeks from the date it is published. The markets do react either positive or negative based on this data, and hence it is an important indicator to watch out for by many investors. You can check this data at the below website. Now let us see how it is calculated. The IIP index uses the year 2011 to 2012 as the base year and expressed weather is above or below that base. The base year for IIP is set to value of 100. So for example, the IIP for April 2021 is 134%. This means the industrial growth was 34% higher compared to the base year of 2011. The key sectors that are measured for computing this index are mining, manufacturing and electricity. Each of this sector is given a weightage that is taken into consideration while arriving at the final value. Under each of this sector we have several companies also called as items classified into item groups. As you can see, these are the weights and number of item groups under each sector. What do they constitute? They comprise of primary goods like ores, fuels, electricity; capital goods like boilers, engines, transformers, commercial vehicles, textile machines; infrastructure goods like paints, cement, cables, bricks etc. Consumer goods like pressure cooker, air conditioners, tires, mobiles, TV sets etc. Consumer non-durable goods like milk, rice, sugar, tea, coffee etc. The source agency for this information for CSO is as follows. Alright, now for the next couple of minutes, I am going to explain the actual formula behind this calculation. So if your 12th class statistics scares you, then feel free to skip it. For the brave hearts, here is the explanation. The compilation of IIP is done using the Laspeyres index formula. The formula looks like this. It is not that hard as its first impression looks like. Let us divide the formula into 3 pieces. The numerator, denominator and the multiplier, which is 100. The last one is easy. They are calculating it as a percent and hence multiplied by 100. Let's now look at the denominator. Remember, I told earlier in the video that the sectors have weights and within sectors there are item groups having individual weights. So the denominator is doing a sum of the weights. And finally the little complicated numerator. It is again a sum of the product of 2 variables. The first variable, R of I, is the production relative of the item I, multiplied with the second variable, which is the weight of the item I, in the base year. Good job so far. The last thing that you might be wondering is, what is meant by production relative of item I? If you got this question, then you have paid attention so far in the explanation. The production relative of item I is calculated by dividing the production of the item I, in the current period, with the production of the same item I, in the base year. This value is R of I. Finally plug in all these numbers into the formula and you get the IIP index. Wow, congratulations for getting past this. Great job. Let's switch back to the normal world. Who uses this IIP data? Well, a number of agencies. It is used by government agencies or departments, especially the Ministry of Finance, the Reserve Bank of India, etc. for policy purposes. The All India IIP forms a crucial input for compilation of gross value added of manufacturing sector in gross domestic product of the country on quarterly basis. It is also used extensively by financial intermediaries, policy analysts and private companies for various analytical purposes suited for their requirements. Finally, we investors or traders in the stock market to keep an eye on this data to understand the trend in manufacturing. After all, a healthy manufacturing data indicates a healthy economy as there is good demand and hence the supply is pumped in. That's all for IIP. Hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.